Good morning. Let's get some background music going because I am so pumped about this live. Invite your friends. Go tell them that Dara, SOS Dara, is about to get started in just a couple of minutes. I'm going to invite some more people myself. Invite. Let them know we are live. Let them know we are live. How y'all doing this morning? Who's here? Who's watching? Good morning. Good morning. Happy Wednesday to you. Do y'all remember this episode of A Different World? Listen, I went to Hillman, class of 93. Just kidding. It's not a real school, people. But yes, I went to Hillman, and I remember when Gladys Knight came to campus, and she was looking for background singers. I love A Different World. Shout outs to my big sister for getting me hooked. SOS, y'all. SOS Dara. It's time to get started and answer some questions about organization. If you have a question, drop it to me. All right, let's go. Welcome, and again, thank you guys for joining me. I'm really excited and thankful that you guys are sharing this time with me. I'm going to try not to be too long-winded, but I do have about 5 questions and then a few of my own that I wanted to answer for you today. Again, I'm Dara McClendon and the owner of Simply Ordered Solutions, and I am a professional organizer. And so a lot of people don't know what that means. They've never heard of that, but they need it. We're just going to go into the questions to better tell you who I am and what I can do for you. My first question this morning says, this probably makes no sense, but I'm stuck in this, which is why I'm asking. I have a garage full of stuff that I'm tired of seeing, and I know I need to go through it, but in all honesty, I just don't want to right now. The longer I wait, more stuff builds, slowly but surely. How do I get out of this rut? Okay, so you've got a garage full of stuff. You don't feel like going through it. My advice to you in getting started, and that's what SOS is all about, helping you just to get started, as little as it seems, as tiny of a baby step as it looks, take it one piece at a time. So today, literally, you come into the garage, the first thing your eyes cast sight on, take that thing and do something with it. Move it to where it's supposed to be. Is it trash? Do you need to keep it? Do you intend to buy or find a home for it? Make that your action item for that day. And if it's too daunting to take one thing a day, then take one thing a week. Do that, and slowly you'll start to see the margin expand from between your stuff building and, tired of just seeing it. You'll be able to gradually take that pile down little by little. So that's my suggestion to get out of the rut. You don't want to do it all at one time. You don't feel like it, and I understand. That's why it's helpful to have a professional organizer, because that person can help you take what looks like a daunting, overwhelming task and help you tackle it bite-sized chunk at a time. And even after the professional organizer leaves, that's me, I give you assignments or take home, like homework, basically where you will have something to follow, a plan to follow. Now, when I craft this plan for you, it's not going to be unachievable, unattainable goals. It's realistic. Let's look at your schedule this week. Let's look at your family dynamic. Let's figure out what type of system is going to work for you to sustain, what works for you to maintain. And based on that, you get something that you can do. And as you start tackling it, you're going to feel more and more accomplished, more confident, more productive, more excited to see it go. And so that's why I think you should start with one thing at a time. Just one thing. The first thing your eyes see when you come into that garage, that's the thing that you move. And just make that your rule until you look and see the garage is a lot better, and or at least at the place where you can have someone come in and help you get started. Moving on, thank you for that question. The next one is, I don't have just one general or physical area that needs help. I have a lot of little areas, some more mental or just the way I do things. And I know I need to do better with keeping things in order, but I'm just too embarrassed to have anyone see my stuff. How do I move forward? Okay, so it sounds like this person doesn't have an area like a garage, like a physical room or place that they need order in. They have more mental things that they're trying to think through, or they have some mental things, I'm sorry, the question says some mental things that they're trying to think through, but they just have just things that they know they need to get in order. Okay, so if you're embarrassed about having someone to come and help you get organized, listen, don't be. Don't be. How many of us, okay, especially females, go to the gynecologist or the obstetrician or, you know, go to a doctor for anything, you know, any specialist for anything, and feel like, gosh, I don't want them to see me this way. I don't want them to know I didn't do this or do that like they said. I don't want them to know. Like, that's valid. That's an understandable feeling. But you go, especially when stuff, you know, gets down to the wire, you go because you get to the point where you feel like, look, I just gotta go. And that's their job. They're supposed to help me. They're supposed to look at this and figure it out or answer my questions and not judge me. Okay, and that's what my job is as a professional organizer. I'm supposed to help you. I'm supposed to see your mess. Don't clean it up before I get there, and don't try to get it all in order and organized. Listen, if that helps you and that's your personality type and that's how you need to start with me, then I'm not going to tell you not to, but don't let it stop you from getting started, because I'm not judging you. This is a job. Okay, you have fallen overboard and I am here to rescue you. I'm not judging how you fell, when you fell, how deep you fell, or why you fell. I just want to help you get up. So how to move forward? I'd say just let someone help you. Let someone help you, and don't beat yourself up about what happened and how it happened and just the way things are. Just don't beat yourself up like that. Just let yourself love yourself enough to receive help. Next question says, I am an organized person. Yay. It says, I like for stuff to have its place. I love the Container Store. It says love. And Target. My issue is systems, though. I can't seem to consistently maintain one way of doing things. I always change it up and it confuses me. What do you suggest? I kind of shared this in the first question. Systems are so important. A system is basically your way of doing things, and it's the routine, the habit that you create every single time. So when you come in, if your system is to throw your mail on the table and you've done that every day for 5 weeks, you're going to have 5 weeks of mail, unless your system includes a time to sort that mail, to open that mail, to trash that trash mail, junk mail, or to actually take action on the things in the mail. So a system is more than a habit. A system is a series of habits. It is a complete follow through of all the habits, all the measures that you need to see a project from beginning to the end. And so for someone who is organized, that's awesome. You're off to a great start. But if you need a system, then I would say you have to realistically look back on where you have fallen short, where you have fallen off, and say, okay, if I bring my mail in and I put it on the table, and I'm not going back to look at it, then maybe you need to go and say, when can I come to the table and do this? When can I sit down and start to open my mail? When can I sit down and start to look at my mail? And make those habits, plug them into a system, when you're going to do them, how you're going to do them, and stick to it. Okay. No system is a system unless you stick to it and you carry it all the way through. So that's my suggestion to you, is just fine tune your system, see where you've fallen off, and then add on to it. Add on to it to make sure it is complete. Don't change the whole system. Just build on what you started. Build on the habits that you have, and then keep going. And as with any of these questions, I'll just plug in here. I am here to help you. So I can help you create and craft a special system that is just exclusively yours if it's your schedule. And it might seem crazy to somebody else, but if it works for you, then you work it. It's your system, it's your plan, so that you stay on top of what you need to stay on top of, okay? All right, I have another question, and I think I have some more coming here in through Messenger, but I'm gonna get to these first. I love my mom, but she lives in clutter. She says she thinks she's a pre-hoarder. I've never heard that term before. A pre-hoarder. She acts like she doesn't want to be, but she keeps buying things she doesn't need and has no space for in the house. Okay, so there's actually not a question here, but that's a good point. So the way that I would suggest a person who might want to help their mom, I'm not sure how you want to help your mom, if you want to help her to stop hoarding, or if you want to help her to get started on the clutter or whatever, need a little more information for that question. But it's a great point to make that anybody who is constantly buying things, there is a reason for that. And that person, you know, might want to just take some time reflecting on that. That's not my area of expertise, so I can't so much speak to that. But I can speak to the no space in the house. How are you utilizing the space in the house? If this person feels that everything they have in the house they need or they use regularly, it might be that you're not utilizing your space the way you want to, or you need to, or you're not using it in the most efficient, effective way, showcasing or putting forth what you want people to see and what you want to share with people who come to your home. So that's one note, I guess, in this question. Living in clutter is not healthy. Okay, even if you know where everything is, it is not healthy. It can become a hazard. A safety hazard, especially for small children, for pets. If it becomes too big, too much, it can it can be unsanitary. You know, if you've watched the show Hoarders, which is very like extreme end, that can be a safety issue, a health issue. But even more importantly, mentally and emotionally, a cluttered space a lot of time reflects a cluttered mind. So if you are living in clutter, it is probably very difficult for you to get other things done. And you might not realize how that's affecting you until things go undone for so long. And so sometimes that can create a cycle for people, and then they feel like, well, I need to get out of the house. And then what makes them feel better, it might be buying, it might be doing something else, whether it's a positive habit or an unhealthy habit. And so, you know, my advice to this person who wants to help their mom is to spend some time with your mom and talk to her and see why she's buying these things, if she's ever opened up and shared that with you, and see if you can help her on that level from a personal family standpoint. And if you can't, then, or if you don't, or she hasn't opened that way and you're not comfortable talking that way, then just deal with the space, just deal with the area, deal with not having enough space in the house, and deal with living in clutter and how to get better at that. Because your mom may or may not have issues, but some people, most people I think do, have issues going undetected, and you can trace it back to the clutter that they're living in. So that would be, without an actual question, what I would throw at this this statement here. Next, it says, I can't, and just a couple more, guys, it looks like, I can't seem to keep a journal or a planner to save my life. Welcome to the club. And I know such planning would help me to stay more organized. What tips can you share for learning to plan or reflect better? Listen, y'all, I tried to keep a diary ever since I was a little girl. Every single day, I just can't do it. That's not my, go back to it, system. That doesn't work for me. But I do reflect, sit down and journal every other day or so, every couple of days, because that's good for me. It's how I spend my quiet time in the mornings. But thinking about a journal, there are lots of types of journals. And so there are some journals that are guided. And I have one gratitude journal that I do use every now and then, and it's guided. And so when I open it, it's not like, okay, the last date was 2015, and then I'm beating myself up. But, it has guides, it has prompts. What I mean is writing prompts. So it's asking a question, or it's, telling me something to do, or to say, or to try. And so, and I got that from Target, not that expensive. So maybe a guided journal would help you if you just want to get into the habit of journaling, and getting your thoughts out so that you can prepare for your future, whether it's personal or business or health or spiritual. A planner, I actually have a planner, and I'll show you my favorite one. Please hold. I am known for planners and calendars. Listen, if I go to Target, my husband already knows. He already knows what section I'm in. And he's like, oh no, another planner? Because he knows that I love planners. This is one that I got, and I just love it. Isn't it beautiful? Sometimes I get planners because they're cute, and you shouldn't just get a planner because it's cute. Now, if it is cute, then it'll motivate you to at least start to write in it or look at it. But this is specifically called the Day Designer, and what I like about it is every day you get to design, and I won't show you my actual days, but I'll just skip. Every day you get to actually design your day. And so I can obviously put to-dos here, and I can obviously put my schedule here by the hour. I can focus on things for tonight. I can go ahead and write things of gratitude or other random to-dos. Now, this is helpful for me, and I've gone through lots of journals. When I first started using a journal in college, it was about this size, and it had the days. And one day I'll do a video just on planners because I should. I just have so many. I keep them. I look back at them because it shows me where I was in that time of my life and then what I was doing and what I had going on. Anyway, in college, it was just a week. You open it up, for example, and you see the whole week. And it was like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday with a little Saturday, Sunday somewhere. Okay, so that was what I used in college, like writing my homework assignments and keeping up with that. That's when I first started using a planner regularly. And that was to keep up with my assignments and everything I needed to do. So the first thing about using a journal or a planner is, what are you using it for? What are you trying to keep up with? What are you trying to keep track of? For some people, that just keeping it on paper, keeping it handwritten doesn't work. And that might be your system. You might need to keep it on the phone, electronic reminders, that might help you. Sending messages or notes to yourself. Some people just do sticky notes and they put them there, and when it's done, they take it off and it's out of their sight. So you've got to find a system. It might not be journals, it might not be planners, it might be something else. But with planners, I can say, since it's one of my systems, I had to come to find out the best type of planner design that worked for me, because that is also going to help you to stay with it or fall off. I do well when I can see, at first I did well when I could see the whole week when I open up. But now I'm always kind of on the go, and I need something I can keep in my purse because I have a toddler. So if I'm carrying less, that's awesome. So if it can fit in my purse, this is great. And so I'm looking for, or I was looking for, because I have it, a planner where I can see my day. I just pull it out and I can see my day. I can see what I need to do. I can see my schedule. I can see my top 3 things to get done. And when I'm done with that, I can flip it over and I can see a new day. And I also wanted a planner where I can easily go to the month at a glance. And this planner is that for me. And so, you have to know what you want out of a planner. You have to know the design. Now, I have one of these as well. It's obviously the same month to month as this planner, because this is just the monthly calendar. But the reason I got this one, it has a totally different purpose than this one. And some people might think that doesn't make sense. But this one is specifically one that I bought for business, for me to plan out and write on calendars, on days, everything I'm doing for marketing, everything I'm doing for social media, everything I'm doing for my blog, everything I'm doing for promotions, everything I'm doing speaking wise, everything I'm doing, everything will be on the calendar. So when I get up and I come to my table with my laptop, I can open up to this day and know what I have to do, but I can plan in here what I'm realistically going to be able to do, and I can stay focused. So that's that. Find your system, find what works for you, and it will take trial and error. Don't feel bad about that. Okay, so between a bunch of moves, college, and now starting to have kids, I feel like I just have too much stuff. It's all unorganized. Oh, I'm sorry. It's all organized to a degree and tucked away, but the thought of it all in the back of my mind makes me anxious. Why? Well, that kind of goes into simplicity, and I am the simplicity finder. Simplicity. So a lot of times when we move from house to house, when we move from, especially in college, you go from dorm to dorm, you go from your parents' house to your house or your apartment or whatever. And then when you start to have kids, oh Lord help, you know, they get bigger and their stuff is still here. And what do? Do you keep it? Because what if you have another kid, or what if somebody you know needs it, or, you know, you want to be able to pass it down, and, you know, all this type of stuff. So what I would suggest to you, if it is organized to a degree, what parts of it, what areas of it are making you feel anxious? Really dig into that why for yourself. I can't tell you exactly why it's making you anxious, but if it is, I can tell you that that's something that you need to address. It's something that you need to take your time and deal with. It might be that in the back of your mind, you know, some of the stuff in those boxes from college you don't need anymore, but they're way down at the bottom of boxes, onto under boxes, in the back of a closet. And so it's just kind of like that nagging, dangling feeling where it's just like, hey, are you going to get to me? So just take a day, and because I had that feeling right before we moved from the last house we were living in. I had some boxes like that, and I knew that there was stuff in those boxes that I don't need them. I don't need them, because if I needed them, they wouldn't be in the box. They'd be right here in front of me where I'm using them every day or every week or at least once a month. But no, they're in that box and they're in that closet and I'm not using it. So I would definitely say to make sure you discover and identify why this is making you anxious, and then tackle it head on. Just go for it. Just take a day, one day, start with that one thing and say, you know what? I'm going to deal with this box, and just get started. Just go in that box, and the stuff you don't need, anything else, think about who it could help, it could bless, and just pass it on. But don't let it just keep sitting there, because that actually brings me to this next question. Sentimental stuff from my childhood, from my family that has passed away, where does it really belong? That's a great question, because in those boxes that I was just talking about, when we were preparing to move, I have all these trophies and plaques and things from elementary school, and it's like, you know, why? Now, when I got the awards, I was very proud of myself. I was kind of an overachiever in school, but when I think about it now, I'm not going to display those. Now, if I get a Grammy Award tomorrow, you know, I might display that one for a little while, But I don't think anyone needs to know that I won the career portfolio contest in the 6th grade. Like, I really don't think anyone cares, especially if my career at the time was fashion designer, and I'm not a fashion designer today. So really, it's sentimental stuff, and so there might be some ways that you can honor the nostalgia of it, that you can, you know, present it or showcase it in a way that makes you feel like you're not just totally throwing out your accomplishments, but really, you know, when this life is over, what are you going to do with that stuff? Now, again, there might be ways that you can recycle it, you can repurpose it. You might want to take just the name plaques off and create something more, more compact. lots of creative ideas for repurposing sentimental things of value, things from your childhood and from family that have passed away. I mean, I have some dresses from my grandma in my closet right now, and I don't wear them. They're not for me to wear. They are strictly for me to look at, and I'm not throwing those away. But I don't need a closet full of her dresses. I have one, and I have special memories about that dress, and that's important to me, so I keep it. And that's okay. If it's of value to you and you have a system and where you reflect and you look back and you thank God or, whatever, or you show your gratitude, then that is a system. That is a healthy system. But what is unhealthy is when it becomes excess, when it becomes a room full of trophies or certificates and toys, and when it becomes a closet full of dresses and memorabilia and paraphernalia, like that's when you have to pare down and simplify and say, okay, do I really need all of this? Do I really need all of it? And when you say need, how do you define that need? What is my purpose in keeping it? Okay. Let me double check before I go to these questions and see, am I able to do that? I'm not sure. I have a couple of more questions, I think. So let me check and see if there are some that I can answer really quickly. I don't think so. Let's see. Okay. Awesome. Great. Okay. So to wrap it up, why is organization important? Organization helps you to focus on what's really important to you. When you are organized, when your mind is clear, you can get more done. You can be more productive. So if you are in business, you can make more money. If you are in ministry or business, you can impact more lives. You can reach more people. Just on a day-to-day, if you're a parent, if you are, even single and trying to get things done on your own, either to prepare for marriage or just to be a better you. When you are organized in how you live your day-to-day life, you are going to be a healthier person, in my opinion. No data here, but you're going to be a healthier person because mentally you're going to have a clearer mind. You're not going to be stressed or stretched too thin. You're going to be able to plan ahead and know what's coming, and that way you won't get overwhelmed or overworked or burn out. You'll be able to prioritize better because you'll know what you have in front of you. So it just makes for a healthier mind. It makes for a healthier body, a healthier spirit, and I love it. So that from those questions and everything I've already said, like these are ways that I can help you. If anything that I've shared today feels like you cannot do that by yourself, feels like I hear you, I get it, but I just don't know, I can help you. I can either help you one-on-one in person, whether we do a work session and face-to-face, or we do a work session virtually online. I can help you get started, kind of consult with you, coach you, just counsel you on how to get started and which way to go. How do you pay? You do pay with me by the session. I have an hourly rate, but today I'm going to be rolling out some specific packages and bundles for people looking for specific things. I've been talking to some people, and I think that there are some specific needs and some specific fears that people have, and that's okay. I'm going to work with you, and I'm going to create some packages that will help you to get started, even though you might not be ready to commit to, an 8-hour work session or whatever. Now, that's the ideal for me, is that I just spend my day with you and we just go for it. Because when I get in that mode, when I get in that flow, I'm telling you, I just go. I just love it, and I just go. Now, I'm not saying I as an I by myself. Like, we will go. We are a team. You plus me equals simplicity. Okay, but together, I love to help you bring it together. I love to see when things start flowing for you, when you start to feel that burden lifted off you. Oh, I just love it. And then I also have a question here that's saying, are you a personal or virtual assistant as well? And so if you've been to my website, which is simplyordersolutions.com, then you might have seen that I do offer other services. And And really, that's just an add-on to the professional organizing, because I start with professional organizing, but sometimes, especially when I'm working with businesses, I might see that there's more that you need. There's more that you need administratively, which is also a gift of mine, to help you keep the systems that we've set in place with the professional organizer. So the short answer to that is yes, but I'm focusing on organizing right now. So if any of those services or any of my assistants seems like it is something for you, then I want you to go click that learn more on my Simply Ordered Solutions Facebook page, or go to simplyorderedsolutions.com and go to contact and go ahead and book a consultation with me. That's how we get started. Even if it's for administrative assistance, you can book a consultation needs assessment type of thing, where I find out what your needs are and where you are, because you might need professional organizing first before you can have someone come in to really assist you. So they kind of work hand in hand, and they're both gifts that God has given to me. So I'm not going to take any more of your time. It is now 10:01. I want to thank you for joining me. Share this live video, and I really do appreciate you for watching. And if you have any other questions, SOS Dara, then go ahead and send them to me, direct message them to me, and I'll be happy to answer them, okay? You guys have a productive, awesome, wonderful Wednesday, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.